What's up guys, how are you? Thanks for coming back. If you've been here before, appreciate you. We have a Honda GX160 horizontal shaft engine today. Quick backstory, I picked it up a couple weeks ago. It was $60 I think I paid for it. It just ran poor. And now I know that I've sold these before for like with shipping, like 250 or 300 bucks. So, you know, make a couple $100 on it. I figured this one, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes to clean the carb apart, make $100 or $200 off it. I thought it's a pretty good deal. Plus it might make a good video depending on what happens. It ran poorly, I would say. Just kind of surged a little bit. It just sounded like it just needed to be blown out. I think the guy was just looking to get rid of it. So it came off of I'll get a light. It came off of a something. I don't know what that is. I think it's some kind of a water pump. It's got this wonderful handle on it. I think at the end of this, I might keep this as, you know, if I work on more of these in the future, that would be, I'm holding the camera with my right hand. Here's my left hand. These are not that light, but, you know, I would not have been able to do that with one hand with the camera without that. So that's kind of cool. This was broke. This was not working. Admittedly not working. He said it's not, you know, it's just, pump went bad. It's Honda. I might look into see if some of these replacement parts are worth something, maybe not, like if there's any valves or anything. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. This was out, this little kill switch, it was out of its little home. It looks like it just keys back in there though. I don't know anything about the air cleaner, have not taken that off yet. Spark plug looks to be fine. It doesn't look too rusty or dinged up or crappy. The muffler is actually not in bad condition either. Sometimes these can rust out pretty bad. This one only has a minor spell of rust on it. Okay, this is apparently the whole thing. I've never seen that before. Usually the cover comes off and then the air filter is on there. That might come out of there. I have one hand right now. I'm not gonna force it out. That might come out of there. There's a little bit of debris in there, a little bit of grease. So I'm not gonna check for spark or do any of the things like we normally do. I'm just gonna show you how it runs and then pull the carburetor apart, see what it looks like in there, clean it, fire it back up and see if that fixes our issue. Choke, fuel. Switch. Choke. All right, back on the bench. It just had that like surge where it would, I don't know if I got it on camera. Once it warmed up a little bit after I had the camera off, I think it showed up a little bit better, the surge, especially on lower, if I was on a lower throttle. I feel like it would surge more when it was lower, and then when I kicked it up a little bit, it still kind of had this, but it ran a little bit better when it was, you know, when it was going. The other thing too, this kill switch does not work, and I think the reason why is there's this little metal post on it right there that I'm going to guess needs to be grounded, you know, to some metal in there, which is why it didn't work. So anyways, I'm gonna try to squeeze that back in there, pull that carb out, just do a regular service, change the oil now that it's warmed up a little bit. The gas didn't smell too bad. There were some floaties in it. And take another look at that air filter and see what's going on with that. Everything on Honda is 10 millimeter, I feel like. I promise, it's got a pan under it. The oil level was full when I checked it. The oil obviously wasn't too good looking. It wasn't, you know, the important thing is that there was oil in it. That's the important part. Most Hondas are 10W30. Well, most Honda small engine stuff, at least the stuff that I've worked on. A lot of these horizontal shaft, if not all of the horizontal shaft, are 10W30. Kind of let that dribble out. Hey Siri. What is the oil?
An oil is any non-polar chemical substance that is a viscous liquid at ambient temperatures and is both hydrophobic and lipophilic. Do you want me to keep reading?
No, please don't. What is the oil capacity of a Honda GX160?
Okay, I found this on the web for what is the oil capacity of a Honda GX160. Check it out.
Can you just read me the article, all of it? Siri, so useless. Looks like it's 0.61 US quarts. So I'm gonna try to figure out how many ounces are in. I know this is kind of doing the most, but cross multiply 0.61 quarts, so 0.61 is 61%, so 61 over 100 equals X over 32. That's how many ounces are in a quart, and we want to solve for X, so cross multiply, right? So we would do 100X equals 61 times 32. Maybe Siri can help with this one. Hey Siri, what's 61 times 32?
61 times 32 is 1,952.
1,952. So then solve for X divided by 100, divided by 100. So our X number is going to be 1,952 divided by 100, which if my math serves correctly, that is 19.52. Let's see. Hey Siri, what's 1,952 divided by 100?
1,952 divided by 100 is 19.52.
So I'm going to round up. I'm just going to round up to a even 20. I have this old, which is not that old, 10W30 Quaker State. I think there's just over 20 in it. Looks like there is, I'm looking right there, that's the level. It's like it's just over 24, so I want to fill it up until I am just above the, there it is, just above the 4. Right above that mark, somewhere in there. It's 19.52. I'm going to tip this up a little bit, make it a little easier. Oh, dad blame it. That's what you get for not using a funnel. No, but really though, I should use a funnel. All right, let's try this again. properly. Once again, another 10 millimeter. Yeah, that's weird. I don't think that comes out. Maybe it does. I'm just... Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Well, maybe not. Very interesting. Never seen that before. That's pretty cool. A little bit of oil and grime and grit in there. I might wash that off here. Looks like there's one more. That fuel line off of there. These are awesome. Fuel line pliers, specifically designed for situations. Sometimes you just gotta get it moving. How many of you saw that coming? I did not have the fuel line clamped off. Drain that float bowl first. I am just going to quickly kind of spray off, knock off some of this crap. Now we'll drain the float bowl. Not great looking, but I've definitely seen worse. Just some built up garbage down there. That some, you know, who knows? Some of that may have fallen in or been associated with my bath that I gave it. I'm not sure. This one does not have one of those sediment bowls. I think it's called a sediment cup. This one does not have that, which is fine. That main jet or that valve seat right down there in the middle, if you can see. Let me see if I can get it to show up. I'm looking right in there. It's got a flathead screwdriver. There it is. Flathead screwdriver. I think it's called a valve seat. Holds the main jet up in there. Normal screwdrivers, they have those shoulders on them, as indicated. This one on the left, I've ground down the shoulders so that way when I put it inside the jet, it doesn't knock around and scrape the sides or whatever. So it looks like sometimes these can get stripped easily. They're brass. You want to be careful. This one looks to be in good shape, but you never know. I'm going to put the smallest amount of force on it, and if I feel it start to slip, so it's coming out, that's good. But I was going to say I have soaked them in penetrating fluid. That seems to work. If you want to dribble some, whatever you got down there, it's better than nothing. And that way it'll creep past there and I hope you get it out. we go. I'm gonna hold it up to the light. There should be a little hole coming through it, and this one kind of clogged. It looks to be kind of clogged. And hey, there you go. That is the main jet. That thing slid out. That's what this was holding. It holds it up inside of the carburetor. This has all these holes on it that sucks the fuel up. Those can get clogged too. I'm gonna hold that up to the light. Doesn't look too bad. Also take this pilot jet out. I'm gonna turn it in till it seats and count how many times it turns in, and then when I put it back, I'll drill it. I'll push it all the way in, and then I'll take it back out to where we can be where we were when we started. So I'm gonna keep counting in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4.5. Remember that, 4.5. All right, now we're just gonna blow out all the jets. I'll take care of that bowl. There's a little drain plug. So there's 2 bolts. The one that I took out, that actually holds everything up in there. It holds this bowl onto the carburetor. And there's like a drain. There's like a drain bolt. I'm gonna take that off just to be thorough. Just make sure it's cleaned in its entirety. Okay, so I don't like using this thing. It's a sand blaster. It's gonna take that stuff right out of there. This makes a massive mess. I know people have sandblasting boxes, which are really cool. I don't have any room in here for that. This one's a little bit more versatile, smaller, obviously. I don't like how messy it is though. But I think it's gonna be the only thing that gets that crap out of there. I'm just gonna do this over the garbage. I'm gonna try to keep it down in there as much as I can, just to keep the sand from going every direction. Plus I'm gonna like cover it up, that way the sand doesn't come back up in my face. All right, so it is much better. It's not where I want it to be still. I'm gonna it's dinner time where I am, so I'm gonna let something soak in there. I might do well, there's 2 things. Let me ponder for just 1 minute. So I will put this drain bolt back in. Okay, so now what I can do is I can let this, all the crap is there. There is a flat spot, obviously, that I'm going to rest it down like that. I'm going to see if it'll balance, and it will. And I'm going to fill that up as high as I can, and the point where I have to stop is the point where this hole back here allows. So it'll probably be, it'll be more than enough. Not a paid sponsor. I don't know why. These videos are gold and we have 1 million subscribers. Cred Cutter sells this thing. It's called a Must for Rust. This stuff is unbelievable. Even if they were a paid sponsor, I'd still be saying the same thing. I am going to dump some of that in and let it do its thing. I think on the back, I'll read it really quick. I want to say it, I mean, the longer you let it sit, the better. This is saying medium to light rust will be dissolved in 30 minutes or less, which is perfect. This is, I would consider, light rust. And yeah. I'm gonna go eat. All right, back from dinner, soup and salad. I'm gonna hit that. I mean, as you can see, it already looks 100 times better. All that brown stuff is gone. You can kind of see that. I'm looking like right there. You can kind of see that residual stuff that's still there. But you know what to do? I might not get that sandblaster back out. I'm just gonna hit that with the toothbrush. Let's see what that does. World apart difference from where we started. I know it's not perfect, but I mean that'll do for now. Much better. So we'll get it all buttoned back up and get that safety switch and go from there. All right, start piecing this thing back together. Start with that pilot jet on top. All right, 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so that's backed out to 4.5. Put that main jet in there. There's that valve seat with the special screwdriver. Just lightly seated. It doesn't have to be, you know, once it's tight, maybe give it just a little extra, but it does not need to be very tight. You'll thank the next person too who takes that out of there if it's not tightened like a wheel lug nut or something. It's just not necessary. Put that float back on. There's the pin. Okay, goal is we're gonna fire it back up. I know this has been pretty boring, but I figured I'd make just a, servicing it video, clean the carb. I know most of the time there's more drama and more buildup when there's a plot crisis or something like that to make something not work. This is pretty straightforward. The hardest thing actually, which we can check on right now, is this kill switch. Let's see if we can get that. So I'll kind of work my way, or explain my way through it. So this obviously, if you see that little notch, this obviously keys in right there. There is this metal post that looks like it's not supposed to be bent like that. Or it is, or it's not. I don't know. That post would sit somewhere up there. So I'm gonna look inside really quick and see what I can find. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. I don't even know what I'm looking for. So there's nothing in there. Pretty sure it has to be grounded to this. This is grounded to the engine, this thing. It's metal. I know this obviously is where a lot of things get grounded actually to the block. This is metal to metal, it's touching the block, so that's that. So I'm hesitant to bend that back in just because I think that it's supposed to be like that. I'm gonna see if it'll fit in there like organically first and then report my findings back. Oh, actually, wow, something just happened and it just felt great. So I'm just gonna play with it just for a second here on camera. No, it's not going any further. All right, let me get the camera set up. I'll toy around with it. Part of me wants to bend that back, but then the other part of me is saying, no, it's bent because it needs to ground. I'm just gonna use this kind of as a makeshift dead blow hammer. Not too aggressive. I think that just did it. I'm gonna hit up on it a little bit, I think. If it does not go, I'm not gonna put it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's how that goes. I know you might not have been able to see it on camera. That is organically, I guess, supposed to face, you know, horizontal with the engine. When I put it in, it was tilted down. That on was like, well, I think you can see the mark, that mark right there. I think that's where it was originally, or somewhere down there, and then put the screwdriver on it, tapped it up a little bit, and I think that's all that it needs in order for that kill switch to function properly. I'm gonna go start it up, and I'm gonna make sure that this is, well, the kill switch is out before and it started, so it's not like it needs to be on to start. It's just if it's off and it's grounded, it kills that spark through some kind of relay or points or something like that up in there that we can't see. So it's gonna start, obviously, and then when I go to shut it off, I'm gonna flip that, and if it shuts off, we know that it's fixed. Last time I had to shut the fuel off, this was off camera, I had to shut the fuel off, choke it, you know, get it to run out before I did it. So let's fire this thing up and see how much better it runs. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. That kill switch did work. Sorry I did not get it on camera, I apologize. Ran it for a few minutes. I ran some seafoam, aerosol seafoam through it. I think they call that a hot soak. It kind of cleans some of that carbon off of the piston head. But I know this video wasn't extremely riveting and entertaining, but you know, just servicing something. I had no idea about the engine, no clue. Now kind of know a little bit more what's going on inside of it, what it looks like. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. We'll put that link right here. And then here's a couple other videos if you guys are interested. So thanks for hanging out, and